Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. Welcome in everybody, it's your Uncle Charles, and once again, we got a new 52-week high and a new 52-week close. Today we close at 476.69. Interesting action. For me, it wasn't very tradable unless you guys are holding swing longs or swing calls with enough time on it. You guys probably doing good, but for me, it wasn't very tradable. I spent a lot more time with Tesla. Ooh, I can't wait to talk about Tesla. But looking at the SPY here, once again, very choppy day. If you guys been following Uncle Charles long enough, or at least been trading price action long enough, you guys, at least I hope you guys are well versed in the concept of the trend phase and the chop phase. The market, it likes to cycle between those two phases. Trend phase, the chop phase. Trend phase, the chop phase. And today, it looked like it was choppy. A smaller time frame, obviously, for 30-minute chart. That same concept of the trend phase and chop phase can apply on bigger time frames, obviously, as well. But the moves will be bigger on the bigger time frames. The moves will be smaller on a smaller time frame. Okay, you guys can see here, choppy. What is the market consolidating for? Is it a move to the upside? Is it a move to the downside? That is what we are always wondering. And with 1 day left in 2023, how will the market makers end it? Okay, so if the market's consolidating, what comes after the consolidation? The trend move, right? And a lot of us are wondering, are we going to go to all-time high, or are we going to come just short of it? Well, we look at the context of the smaller time frame here. Yesterday's high became today's support. Okay, I was watching at 476.5. I was watching a zone 477 to 476.5. It just lingered around this zone all day. We got a lot of buying pressure from yesterday's high. Like I said, was today's low. Yesterday's sell zone was today's buy zone. 476.5. Based on that context, guys, I'm thinking the bulls still have a shot at more upside to get to my fib level at 478.6, as well as the previous all-time high way back in, what is that, January of 2022. Interesting stuff. Can we get there? Well, I can't answer that for you, but I am a translator of the price action. And as always, I believe the price action will and can answer that question for you. We just got to be willing to be patient and wait to react. Be told what to do by the price action. Sheeps are known to be followers, and that's what we do. We follow the price action. Bye! And based on this context, like I said, above 476.5, we could bust up. What was today's sell zone? It was around 477.5. This was actually a previous buy zone as well, back in 2021, early 2022. And apparently, it's still a sell zone. So, yeah, if we could stay above 476.5 and clear that 477.5, we could go to my fib level at 478.6 and all-time high, okay? Maybe, just maybe, we could even make a new all-time high before we start correcting, possibly in January, okay? Of course, I'm going to follow the price action. I am open to a rug pull tomorrow if it happens, okay? But only if the price action tells me to. If we get a false breakout setup based on the levels I mentioned, 476.5. And my rising wedge. Uncle got cussed out about this rising wedge yesterday. I make free content. I put my heart and soul into it. I got cussed out, man. Damn. You're going to cuss your uncle out like this. Anyways. We can call it a channel if it makes you feel better. Whatever you want. Or just a trend line. It's not like I'm looking at this lower trend line anyways. But yeah, based on this trend line, if that makes you feel better, not cuss me out. That's around 473 now. It's sloping up, guys. So, a few levels we need to break down if you're a bear. Or for the price action to tell us to be bearish. 476.5, If we could break down that 473 level, it'll be a break back below this trend line or Uncle's rising wedge. And I got a fib level at 471.3. Okay, we need to pay attention to the behavior of the price action. What is it doing? Is it giving us bearish behavior or bullish behavior? Well, I tell you this, when a sell zone becomes a buy zone, it's usually bullish behavior. Okay, guys, something I recommend, especially with having the proper mindset with trading, is try not to think too linear. You know what I mean? I like to describe them as bull bias and bear bias traders, but if you really think about it, most traders, they think the market's either just gonna go up or go down. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't just go straight up and go straight down. It's gonna be challenges. It's gonna be chop phases and trend phases. That's why I want you guys to learn those concepts: chop phase and trend phase, and all that good stuff. It's all price action concept. It's public knowledge, but you just sometimes people just need to be told by somebody because they don't know. So now you guys know. So go down that rabbit hole. Okay. So still bullish. All-time high is still a possibility. Is new all-time high a possibility? I don't know. We'll talk about it if we get there. And like I said, those breakdowns of support that I mentioned to you guys, if we get those breakdowns, maybe we can get some type of pullback or correction. I know it's low volume. It's typical around this time of the year. Low volume. Maybe volume will come back next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And we can either get some fear or greed in the market. Okay, I'm not advocating for sin for us. I'm advocating, for volatility. And if the market needs to be greedy or fearful, hey, so be it. Okay, because we got to make this money, right? Speaking of making this money, Tesla gave us a lot of volatility, unlike SPY. Okay, but we're gonna talk about that later. Let's talk about Triple Q first. A lower close than yesterday. We got to a new all-time high at 412.92, but we didn't get a new all-time high close. Yesterday's close was at 411.5. Today's close was a little lower at 411.3. We back tested at 1.5 fib level, 410.8. Actually, it went down to 410.94. I mean, just a few cents shy of testing it. But yeah, overall plan is still the same for Triple Q. If it can break down 410.8 and give us a false breakout setup, and especially for 8.7, we could possibly get a nice pullback or some type of correction. But otherwise, if we're staying above 410.8, that's bullish. Watch that breakout of 413 tomorrow. And like I said, I got another fib extension level at 416. I don't know if we'll test it, but if we break 416 tomorrow, that is a possibility. Okay, IWM still lingering up just above that macro level fib level I have at 203, guys. I tell you, if we break it down and y'all start seeing volume increasing, that might make for a good short, and we could see some lower targets down to well, I have a gap at 199.6, fib level at 198.7. Possibly go test those levels. But we'll have to break down 203. Otherwise, if it stay above 203, we could just be basing a little bit to build strength to bounce higher. 205 to 205.5 zone, that's resistance zone. If that zone clears, 207.5, my next fib extension level would be in play. Okay, guys. So I got SPY, Triple Q, IWM. Those are the ETFs that I like to cover. Tesla. The market was a bit tricky to trade with SPY, but with Tesla, it was just beautiful. I wrote here in my Discord, Tier 1 members get access to this too. So my cheapest membership, you get access to my coverage on the Tesla throughout the day. I wrote for the bear case. If 263 breaks back down, gap up, denied. Because this morning, Tesla tried to gap up. But if it breaks down, 263, gap up, denied. Putting lower targets in play. That was written at 7:10 this morning. I wake up real early to write my analysis. But a few minutes right before the market opened, I wrote for Tesla to test the top of my rising wedge. We'll talk about that rising wedge. 264.5 must clear. All right. But I did write that, I got a bull case and a bear case. Bear case, if 264.5 failed to clear, watch for the breakdown of 263. That was very important. And then I covered the breakdown throughout the day. And guys, look at that. Look at that. 263 was my pink line. It just broke down. So in best practices, if you shorted the breakdown of 263, your stop loss should have been above 263. And as you guys see, stop loss never got hit. You would take most profits at 261 and then leave a runner with your stop loss above 263. If you did that, you should have made good money today. And remember, you can always add to your winners. So if you shorted 263 breakdown, took most profit at 261 and left runners, and you're getting another setup where more support levels are breaking down, like this 259.5 level, which was one of my fib levels, you can always add to your winners based on the price action. Okay? Beautiful trade setup on Tesla using Uncle's cheap style approach. But we gotta look at this bigger time frame. Rising wedge. And we came just a few cents of testing it today, but we got a nice strong rejection. Bearish engulfing candle. Now, based on this pattern, is it possible we fill it up to the down? Well, fill it down to the downside. If it happens, we could drop down to 242 to 244 zone, guys. That's where support of this rising wedge is currently. All right. But before I can get there, it would need to break down my other support levels. I got 252, 250, and a critical fib level at 247. If 247 break down, holy moly, we could go hit that support of my rising wedge. And it also aligns with my multi-month down trend line, right around 242 to 244 zone. Very big possibility. Now, what would cancel my bearish sentiment right now? Obviously, we get some false breakdown setups. Breaking back above 254, 256, and 258 would be great. The critical level it really needs to recapture, though, is 259.4 because that is a fib level. And then maybe I would be bullish again. But as of right now, guys, to me, Tesla is looking bearish. Okay? So I come with Tesla, NVDA. You guys see how big NVDA candles be when it has volatility? Now it's starting to get small, due to the lower volume than usual. Starting to get small and look like it's just taking the stairways up. It's giving us higher closes, but it's not very strong move. So we got to be careful for a rug pull. Okay, you know the old saying, stairways up, elevator down. So watch out for that elevator. And like I said, for an elevator to trigger to the downside, support must fail. 494 and 492.6 are those two levels that must fail. Now, we're not going to go on the elevator down yet, and NVDA want to take the stairway up still. 494.5, 495.5, and 497 needs to clear. It cleared it intraday before pulling back, but it needs to be official on the daily chart to be bullish so we could trigger more upside. Okay, guys, Apple. Now, we got a bounce off this fib level yesterday. 191.2 is around where it's at. And it did show some more upside today with this gap up. However, what level did Uncle gave you? I gave you a 191. We're going to zoom in a little bit here. I gave you a 191.5-ish level. Okay. Make it pink. So, yeah. We broke down that level December 22nd, last Friday. Got a bounce off of support. And that bounce led to a back test of resistance. And this resistance is what we broke down. Looking like a back test to trying to confirm this breakdown. So this breakdown level, which was serving as support, is showing signs that the buyers or the sellers, or in this case the sellers, they're accepting it as the new sell level. That's what it's looking at. And if that's the case, it's still bearish to me. The only way this will cancel is if 194.5 breaks out. So, bull case, 194.5 clears, you look to long. Overall, below it is I'm bearish. And a break back below 193 will put 191.2 back in play. And obviously below that would be bearish and we could go a lot lower. Does that make sense, guys? Amazon is just consolidating. What is it consolidated for? We'll have to let the price action tell us. But with this consolidation, it should be explosive. 152.3 fails, look to short. 155 clears, look to long. All right, we could get a nice drop below 152.3, 151. Gap fill around 150. Probably a drop down to the next fib level at 147.7 if that fails. And now if we break above 155, I got targets at 156.3 and 159.6. Those are possibilities, okay? Watch for the break of the range. Speaking of break of the range, remember what I told you guys about AMD? It was in the chop phase. It had a range and needed to break above 140, 142 to end the chop range in favor of bulls. Look at that. Aged pretty well. Yeah, it cleared that 1.382 fib level at 148 today, guys. It's just going up still. So as long as above 148, breakout stays intact. My next fib level, 150.4 is a target, but my next fib level is at 152.6. So those are the two targets to the upside as long as above 148. If we're going to get bearish, got to give us that false breakout and break back below 148 to put lower targets back in play. 146, 144, and 142.2 would be back in play to the downside. All right, Meta, I'm going to have to zoom in here. I had a fib extension level at 358. Today, Meta closed at 358.32. So it gave us the higher close. As long as above 358, I'm bullish. A breakout above 360 or 362 would definitely be bullish follow through. Now, if we break back below 358 and especially 356, then I would favor 354 and 352 testing. Below 352, that's my next fib level. Bears will take control. If we should get a deeper correction. Okay. Here's Netflix is still consolidating. Got some selling pressure, buying pressure, around the 489 level. So if we break below 489 tomorrow, bearish, look to short, possibly drop down, maybe down to 485 and 482.7-ish. If we break above 491.5 and 493, look to long, all right? 495 and 497 will be upside targets. Microsoft is just chopping, trying to build strength for something, all right? If it clears 377, it's building strength to go to the upside, possibly up to 380 or higher. If it drops below 373, it's likely building strength to drop. Very possible we go test 368 to the 366 zone. All right, guys. Now here's the dark pool. We had majority of premiums coming in, 3.1 billion at the 476.28 level. Okay, keep it simple. We got a lot of buying pressure from that zone as well. So interesting where dark pool level came. Below it, we can switch back to bearish. Above it, stay bullish. I love dark pools. You guys like dark pools? Here is the option flow. 100K premiums or above. It's still bullish, guys. For SPY. Triple Q, higher volume for puts, but more money, more higher premium for calls. So still bullish. IWM is bearish. Tesla is bearish. Interested. NVDA is bullish. Apple is bearish. Amazon is bullish. AMD is bullish. Meta is bullish. Netflix is bearish. And Microsoft is bullish, guys. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys for being here. If you guys want more content from Uncle Charlie, definitely consider joining my Discord. Other than that, have a great evening. I'm going to let the great Leon sing y'all out. Peace.